Okay, welcome everybody. I'm super excited to have you all here today, and it's been so much fun to wander about and hear everyone talking and learning more about what we do here at TRI. It feels like we've been living in the shadow, and now that so many wonderful people have come to learn more about what we do, I'm hoping we can do more events like that here at TRI. I need the clicker. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about improving the quality of life in TRI's mission, but I'm going to actually start with myself and my journey that actually brought me here to TRI. I actually went to Ohio State, go Buckeyes, IO. So really excited, especially since we have partnerships with the University of Michigan, and when I go to Michigan, I have to wear my Ohio gear. Sorry, Ryan. I also went to law school, so I'm actually a lawyer. I practiced law for over 20 years before I made it to TRI, and I did so kind of in a unique way. My life was actually really focused around taking traditional products and turning them into online products. So I started in the banking industry. And I don't want to date myself, but back in the day, before you could actually log into a website and look at your bank balance or pay your bills online or apply for a credit card, I was working at a bank trying to make those products possible. So it kind of progressed through my life of kind of taking these really old-fashioned, old-school regulated industries and turning them into something that was cool and new and innovative. And it kind of ended most recently at Lyft, where I was working as the VP of operations and helping them actually take their product around America and working and negotiating with different regulators on how you actually take what's traditionally a taxi industry and turning into a ride-sharing industry. So it was really fun to help Lyft grow. I came to TRI actually to be the chief operating officer almost 3 years ago. And you know, it hit me at just the right time. So Lyft is an amazing company. I was doing amazing things, in my opinion, changing the world as it came to transportation. And when I was approached by TRI, you know, they came to me, and the first conversation was more about the mission at TRI. And I was in a really unique place in my life where my stepmother had just had 2 strokes. My father had fallen trying to help her get up. They ended up on the floor calling me and calling 911, and they're like, wow. I'm like, what's going to happen to my parents when I live so far away and I have to find a way to actually make sure that they can take care of themselves at home, because we can't always be there, and it's really hard and expensive to afford a home to put them in. At the same time, my dad could no longer really drive well because he's disabled, and I was thinking, you know, what am I going to do? And when I was talking to the recruiter, they were telling me about the vision and the mission at TRI and what it was all about. You guys have learned quite a bit about it tonight. And I was thinking, wow, this company, I could go work at a company that's actually going to change the future and enable people like my father and my stepmother to actually be able to stay home and age in place and not have to worry about caregivers coming in and then being embarrassed by caregivers coming in and taking care of them all the time. And my dad's not going to have to worry about how is he going to get to his doctor's appointment or how is he going to get to the grocery store because he can't drive anymore, because we're going to have autonomous cars. And I'm going to work for a company that can help solve these problems for people in my life that I care about, and ultimately for myself. You know, this probably isn't going to be around, you know, when my dad is still alive, but it's going to be around when I need it most. I'm an only child. What happens like when I'm by myself at my house and I need to get to the doctor? So our vision and mission is really about that. We are actually envisioning a future where Toyota products dramatically improve the quality of life for everyone. And our mission is to develop automated driving, robotics, and other human amplification technology for Toyota in the space that will enable us to actually allow people like my father and your parents to age in place gracefully, to be able to still move around the home and have robots help them move around the home, and help us transport ourselves from point A to point B in a safe way through autonomous vehicles. So our leadership team was another thing that really inspired me to come to TRI. We've got some of the most amazing minds when it comes to autonomous driving and robotics here at TRI. And the best part about them, you know, is I was very scared. I'm a lawyer. I'm not an engineer. What am I going to do? How am I going to sit at the table with these people? Because they are so smart. And they don't have the egos that you think these people would have. There's a lot of doctors that you're seeing, so most of these folks are PhDs, and they really bring a lot to the table without the ego that usually comes with it. And I found that to be one of the other amazing things when I was thinking about coming to TRI, is the people I'm going to be working with really matter. And we just spent 3 days together, everyone on the screen actually, learning and thinking together about how to design the future of TRI. And what should we be thinking about? How do we even be more innovative than we're being today? It's a constant question that we're asking here every day at TRI is how do we do more? How do we think about the next great thing that we're going to do to help transform Toyota and the world today to be more mobile? And our values are another reason why I wanted to come to TRI. When I came here, there were, the Toyota has principles. It's got these 10 principles that they bring from Japan, and they exist, and it's really how do you think about working at Toyota. But I wanted TRI to have its own values. And what I did with the team was really think through what do we want them to be. And I wanted to put a lot of myself into this, because at that point, and a lot of what my role is really about enabling the company as a whole to be more effective, to helping them design the future, to work with the HR team on the type of people and the culture we want here, to work with the engineering team to get things done, what should the processes be that we have to get things done, building all of that within the company. And the values really are the contract that we have when we think about how we work together at TRI. The Be Yourself value is the one that is the most important to me, and I'm kind of the sponsor of that value, if you could possibly sponsor a value. And we spent some time during our retreat with a famous actor, a Japanese actor. I don't know if anyone watched the TV show Heroes. The Japanese character that reads the comic book and goes back in time. So he came to our retreat with us and worked with us on actually being yourself even more and kind of almost being a child. And we were doing improv. And he's like, make a blue doctor machine. And we're like, what? So we all had to act out a blue doctor machine. And it was really like anything you could think of to really be yourself. And he's like, everyone is a genius. And he really got us to think of our internal genius. So even though we all bring different skills to the table and we all have different levels of education, we actually are each individual a genius in and amongst themselves. So what my genius is may not be the same as somebody else's, but we each have individual characteristics. And at TRI, it's really important that everyone has a seat at the table and a voice at the table to bring their unique characteristics to what we're doing here. The next is respect one another. And that one is just as important as being yourself, and I think they balance each other out really well because, if you're a jerk, you still have to respect somebody else. So we think about these of kind of making sure that we're really thinking about all of these as a whole. And respecting one another is another one that's super important. Again, we might not all have the same opinion, but we want to hear everyone's opinion. We want to think about it. We want to debate. We want to make informed decisions. So we have to sit back and respect everyone's opinion here at TRI. And the next is assume best intentions, and this picture is mine, and I will explain the picture to you. I foster kittens throughout the kitten season here in Silicon Valley. We do about 2,400 foster kittens every season here. I have a German Shepherd, and he loves to play with the kittens. He's always licking the kittens and things like that. And the question is this dog, eating the kitten, or is he saving the kitten? He's in fact saving the kitten. And even dogs are basically good. So we like to assume here at TRI that, people are basically good. We need to assume best intentions. We're working in an interesting environment. We have offices all over the world. A lot of email. And email can always lead to miscommunication and misunderstanding. So we like to make sure that when we get upset, when we read that flaming email, it could be a cultural issue because people are speaking many different languages at Toyota. It could be an issue if someone's just grumpy because they worked late and they just sent something out they shouldn't send. So we like to think about things of always step back, don't get upset, assume best intentions. And that really allows us to interact in a different way here at TRI than you would find in other companies where people come in very aggressively into meetings well, why did you send that? We're like, hey, no, I assume you didn't really mean this, but this is how I took it, let's talk. So we just take a different approach to things here. And then thinking globally, again, we're a global company. TRI is a small part of a really large company. There's 360,000 people at Toyota. We are, 350, 340 people. So we need to make sure we're thinking globally on everything we're doing. When we're designing the car, when we're designing a robot, we're actually looking at it from a broader perspective than most companies would. And then finally make it happen. We're here, we're in Silicon Valley, we need to move quick. Japanese companies are historically slow. TRI was created to actually move faster than a traditional Japanese company. So we like to think of ourselves as kind of this company of making things happen. That means taking risks. Doesn't mean jeopardizing safety, but it means taking risks and making decisions and things like that to allow us to move as quickly as possible. I probably completely failed to talk about what I was supposed to talk about, which is what I do here. But these are the things that I put together that are a main part of what I do here at TRI. I have CFO in the title. It's about this much of what I do. I spend a lot of my time in meetings just making sure things actually get done. Sometimes it's coaching people. Sometimes it's helping with reorganizations. Sometimes it's figuring out what should we do strategically? How should we design a program? Why should we do things in a certain way? So I spend a lot of time with the executive team, with anyone who wants to come and talk to me. I believe in an open door policy. And I work really closely with the CEO as well. So if you want to know anything about TRI, you probably know it. If you want to know something technical, you should probably talk to somebody else. But I am a work in progress, so a lot of the professors have taken me under their wing and have been teaching me a little bit more about the technology behind what we do. But again, I think we have a great lineup of some amazing technical people who are going to come up and talk to you, and some of our really good leaders here at TRI. So thank you for all coming out. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me or anyone on the staff. We're super excited to have you here tonight, and hopefully you'll learn a lot about TRI. So thanks.